Good morning, friends. Today I am going to discuss with you on the topic slums in India. Question rises, what is slum? A slum is predominantly an overcrowded area which is in advanced state of decay where dwellings are unfit for human habitation. I mean to say the place where people live in a very pathetic condition. They are having lack of basic amenities like water supply, drainage systems. They used to live in a very poor sanitary conditions and disease causing area. I can say slum is a poverty stricken area where there is a high birth rate, infant mortality, juvenile crime, delinquency and death, thus represents the state of hell on the surface of earth. What is the reason of causing of slums? The reason is rapid industrialization. The rapid industrialization growth and employment opportunities in towns and cities invited people from the rural areas to have powerful magnets to attract for jobs. The workers employed in these cities, factories, industrial areas generally make their habitation as near as possible to the place of work. Another, they are low wage people and cannot afford daily traveling from the distant places in the city. Hence, in a short time, available land or open space is occupied by them illegally or maybe legally, and without having any proper planning of the houses, they start settling in cities. This gives rise to the formation of slums. Another, the foremost important point is population growth. This is a great demand supply gap between the tremendous growth of population and the construction of houses. Still today in India, one third of population is living as a tenant. They don't have their own houses. These shortages manifest themselves in creating slums. Another, the key factor for slum is lack of zoning. If zoning regulations are not enforced in the early development of town, there are chances for industrial area to encroach upon residential areas. Thus, very soon, these emerges overcrowding with the formation of slums. Another is physical and social decentralization. One of the major reasons for slum development is the physical and social decentralization, in which the rich and middle class people move out to the extension areas of the city by leaving the poor in the overcrowded part of the city to make it more unsanitary. As a result, the slum colonies start mushrooming at a fast rate within a city. Another, lack of education because of poverty. If the inhabitants are lacking in education, they may not pay attention to improve the living conditions and lose the civic interest and neighborhood spirit. They are therefore easily attracted by social evils, delinquency, as a everything goes approach emerges in people and they make slums. Poverty, one of the major reasons of slums. One of the major cause of the slum formation can be described in one word as poverty. The meager and unsteady income leaves the family with no other choice but to direct all the energies in earning their daily bread and butter with some minimal clothing. It is difficult for them to pay heavy rents for a decent housing. They therefore move in slum areas, and nobody with black money builds decent houses for the slum dwellers. Repairs and maintenance. There is nothing wrong with old houses, but if they looked after from time to time, but in India, repair and maintenance are the foreign words. Hence, most of these buildings remains in a state of decay to favor the formation of slums. Inadequate powers. Definitely, lack of inadequate powers in enforcing the same by the local authorities for the poor development of the town are also the reasons for the formation of slums. If preventive measures are not taken in time, the decent localities of the town will turn to slums of tomorrow. Even Chandigarh, which is planned capital by the Le Corbusier French architect, is growing beyond the bounds of rigid planning in suburbs and slums. What are the effects of slums on our town life? People's health. Definitely it deteriorates the people health. Unhealthy conditions prevails due to the absence of public facilities like water supply, drainage, sanitation and light. The subhuman conditions of the slums considerably affect the health and life of the people. Lack of socio-cultural life. There is a complete absence of socio and cultural life due to slum formation in the city. People's more conduct. People's moral conduct. The mental outlook of the slum dweller is affected due to its physical environment. He develops low moral character. As such, he is easily attracted by vice, delinquency, crime, and clandestine activities in bootlegging, narcotics, drugs, and adulterations. People's performance and efficiency. The overcrowding area is full of noise, smoke, and congestion. This affects considerably on the working conditions of the people in offices, schools, and hospitals. Acceleration of accidents. Due to slum development, the road tends to become congested. Children play on roads, so there is a danger for traffic accidents. Lack of public places. With the development of slums, all open areas being attached, and there emerged no space for recreation or pure air. Lack of civic sense. A slum dweller loses his ambition, civic interest, as well as wholesome neighborhood spirit. In short span, as such forms a black spot and spoils the healthy environment of the city as a whole. Thus, it becomes an object need to improve the physical, socio, and cultural life of the city, and preventive measures shall be taken to avoid formation of slums. The slums in the town gradually grow and develop to prevent them. Slums are health hazards to the cities, which later to create serious socio-economic and political problems. Thus, nip in the bud, or prevention is better than cure, and the watchwords against the formation. First of all, the authorities should make provision for healthy conditions of living and working. The subsidized cheap housing is sufficient number should be provided for the workers, laborers, and poor people with all civic amenities and utility services. They should have power to control the rents under Rent Restriction Act. They should arrest the substandard and unauthorized constructions on vacant lands. Proper wages should be given to the laborers to improve their standards of living. These are the precautions against formation of slums. The laborers in return should maintain and carry out repair wherever required so as to keep the existing buildings in a good condition. The laborers should be properly educated to take care of health, cleanliness, and general welfare of the family. One method of not aggravating the housing shortage is to take up slum improvement scheme. This method has an added advantage of not causing much disturbance to the slum dwellers, as the slums are developed due to poor drainage system and unhealthy conditions. Hence, the drainage arrangements are to be modified and improved. Dear friends, thank you. We will meet again with next new topic. Thank you.
Morning friends. Today I will speak about the brief history of architecture. I will start from the Greek architecture point of view. The architecture and urbanization of the Greeks and Romans were very different from that of the Egyptians and Persians.